We have another Canadian with us now. Alex Schadenberg is with Damon Owens with Euthanasia Prevention Coalition. Hello, Alex. Hello, Damon.
Oh, thank you. It's good to hear from Alex again from Euthanasia Prevention Coalition, an international group focused on shining a light on physician-assisted suicide, and all those issues. Alex, how have you been? What's been going on in the last year or so?
Well, actually, the whole issue of assisted suicide is, we've had a lot of success in 2017 in the United States. Sadly, not everywhere, but in the United States, there was 26 states that had presented bills or had attempts to legalize assisted suicide in the U.S., and they were all failed in 2017. Now we're concerned about 2018 because there's several states where the elections didn't go well, the few changes, and it doesn't, there's a couple states where we're very concerned about. But worldwide, there's a lot of things going on, and I just want to tell a little story of a woman we just found out about. Her name is Aurelia. She's 29 years old. She lives in the Netherlands, and she's physically healthy, but she has psychological issues, and she was approved for euthanasia on January 26th. So these are the kind of things we're dealing with. If you think that psychologically she's going through difficulties, but she's physically healthy, yet she's going to be dying by lethal injection on January 26th, and we're trying our best to convince her otherwise.
Now, for the non-obvious, can you explain a little bit about what is the issue with assisted suicide from your organization's perspective? Yeah. What is it is at the heart of your opposition to it?
Okay, so assisted suicide is when the law allows a doctor, or in Canada, it allows a nurse, so someone else, to directly be involved with causing another person's death. So in the case of assisted suicide, they would write a lethal prescription, and then the person would receive that prescription of lethal drugs and die by assisted suicide. So you're assisting in causing the death. Therefore, it's direct and it's intentional. What is crazy about the situation is this lie. We're sold this lie on freedom and autonomy, but it's not about freedom and autonomy. How the law works is a doctor decides. One very interesting thing is that just like 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago, we had this letter published by this gentleman in Sweden who contacted the Oregon Health Authority, where assisted suicide has been legal since 1998, asking how they define terminal illness. And we learned from the Oregon Health Authority that, in fact, you don't have to be terminally ill to die by assisted suicide in Oregon. So long as you say no to medical treatment, you're defined then as terminally ill, and you would qualify for assisted suicide if your condition, of course, would lead to that. That means someone who is insulin dependent in Oregon could ask for assisted suicide if they said no to insulin. That's how it is. And we have to understand it means somebody else has the power. Now, let's get down to the reality of this issue. If I'm depressed, I'm going through a difficult time, and a health condition, then is this about my freedom and autonomy when a doctor says, yeah, we can give you lethal drugs? That's not about my freedom and autonomy. That's about my abandonment. That's a cultural abandonment. That's
Alex, what I thought interesting is that we started out with this issue of all of the extreme cases, but then, as you said, this young lady in the Netherlands, it's moved not just from a right to die, really almost to a duty to die. Is that fair?
Well, what's happening is that it expands. Once they say it's okay for somebody else to kill you, it expands over time. What I want people to know is we need to pray for people like Aurelia. We need to recognize that I can make a difference in others' lives also. If I know you're going through a difficult time, but the greatest thing I can do is spend time with you when I know you're going through a difficult time, share my caring time with you. We can make a difference in this world, but the fact of it is we've gone into a cultural abandonment. We're abandoning people who are going through a very difficult time in their life. We're abandoning them to lethal drugs. And this is a ridiculous situation if you think about it, because in the past, we talked about suicide prevention and caring for people. Now we're talking about how we can kill people.
Alex Schadenberg, Euthanasia Prevention Coalition. We talk about the abortion issue, rightly so, but out of that same ideology, out of the same philosophy, is this loss of community and loss of life. Thank you so much for your work in shining light to euthanasia and efficient-assisted suicide. Alex Schadenberg, back to you guys.
So, sorry, I'm waving at, we see some more EWTN employees here, so I was just waving to them. Hi, Catherine. This is really exciting. We're getting very close to the rally, as you just mentioned, and because of the importance of media, I thought I would bring two very fine media gentlemen together. We have to my left, John Henry Westen from LifeSite News, and to my right, Scott Warden, who's an editor at Our Sunday Visitor, which is another great publication, of course, produces many great articles on pro-life and teaches us about Catholic Church teaching on the life issues, but he's also wearing two hats today because he's a dad. He's with his daughter, Olivia. It's her first time here at the March. So, Scott, as a dad coming here with people from your parish and your diocese, what's that like for you?
It was really just, I was excited for my first time just because as media people, we report on it so much, but I never really got to see it with my own eyes. So to come here and see the thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, it really just sort of sinks in how important it is to cover the story and get the message out to the people who can't be here.
All right. And John Henry Weston, you do such a great job of covering pro-life issues. Your thoughts at this year's march? What's on your heart?
Well, on our heart, obviously with President Trump speaking here today, it's a great blessing for all of America. It's actually a great blessing for Canada, too, where I hail from. And I have to tell you, our Prime Minister is doing some really strange stuff. Basically taking away benefits from anybody who's pro-life or pro-family, and you actually have to sign on to say that you're in support of abortion rights and anti-family rights. So unbelievable, but a great encouragement that President Trump is speaking here, and I think he's doing like a presidency also for Canadians who love life.
All right, well, we're praying for you. I'm real close to the border for you in Michigan, so we know that you guys do a great job.